My wife has always been emotional. One time early in our marriage, she pelted me with shoes. Another time she took my computer and threw it out along the side of the road. Luckily, it was still there when she cooled down. I pretty much always laughed those off. We've had 2 previous physical altercations. In the first, I was cooking on the grill. We were having an argument about something. Neither of us remembers what, and I gestured while talking with the barbecue brush and ended up unintentionally flicking some barbecue sauce on her. I was wearing our infant daughter on my back, but she still flew at me in a rage. I grabbed her by the arms to restrain her, and pushed her out of the patio. She then demanded my phone and called the police to report me. They made it clear to her that their report would show that she attacked me while I was wearing our baby on my back, and she decided not to go through with it. This was about 3 years ago. The next time was about a month ago. We were having another argument about something. She claims later that I rolled my eyes at her. I disagree with her on this point. We've talked about this before and I try to avoid the action even in a fight because of how it aggravates her. In any case, she attacked me and I restrained her at first, but then just walked away. She later told me that she was threatened and that rolling my eyes was the last straw. On that last time, it took about an hour of discussion afterwards for her to admit she was wrong to hit me. Even when I did, she meant it in the sense of wrong, but understandable, like it was equivalent to stealing food to feed your starving child or something. I told her we should go to counseling again, but she refused, and told me I needed to learn to control my anger so that I wouldn't make her feel threatened. I argued with her a little more on it, but finally caved that as long as she realized that it was wrong, and it wasn't acceptable to hit me, we could move on. Tonight we were having an argument again. I remember what this one is about since it just happened. I had told her this morning to pick up our daughter from daycare since I had to go give a presentation for my second job. She just grunted at the time. On my way to my presentation, she called me in a panic. She was lost, her cell phone was dead, she called on a restaurant's phone, and she had told me before that I shouldn't work on Monday. It's true we had a discussion about days where she works far from our daughter's daycare so it's hard for her to pick her up, but I had told her at the time that I had one more assignment I had already signed up for, but after that point I would not sign up for those anymore. Anyway, I told her not to worry, I would just pick up our daughter and take her to the presentation with me. When I got home later that night, she wasn't there. I started cooking dinner. When she got home, I greeted her, but she made it clear that she was furious with me. I was in the kitchen and she was on the other side of the kitchen counter from me. She started lecturing me that I never knew when was too far to go, that I was spending too much time at my second job, that I was sacrificing my family for it. This job is somewhat seasonal and there are definitely busy times, but there also have been entire months where nothing happens. I told her this, and that I was committed to making as much money as I could so we could cover our debt and make sure she could take a good amount of time off when she delivers our next child. She's 3.5 months along. She said I was overdoing it and I always did this. At some point I was talking and she started to shout over me, interrupting me. I shouted back, telling her to let me finish and not interrupt me. This was all hell broke loose. She threw her glass down, smashing it on the floor, and then rounded the counter coming after me. She punched me in the chest 4 or 5 times, and then switched to my face. She threw another 4 or 5 punches, yelling that she wasn't scared of me. During this whole time, I just stood still and took it, leaving my arms straight down at my side. I didn't want any misunderstandings like what almost happened in the first incident. After she was done, she went to our room and slammed the door. She had hit me mostly in the bone arch under the eye, the jaw and the cheek. I still haven't bruised, but if I move my mouth around I can still feel the pain. I called the police and told them that I was reporting a domestic disturbance. They sent over an officer and we met them at the door. We both gave our accounts, and another officer, by this time 3 had shown up, took me aside and asked me to clarify what I had said because it sounded like something was missing. Confused, I asked about which part, but he wouldn't say what. I tried to go into as much detail as I could recall, but I'm still not sure what that was about. They asked me if I wanted to press charges. I said no. They asked me why I called them then. I felt like an idiot. I honestly don't know what I wanted. I just felt like I had to do something. I had tried to get us to go to counseling before, and she refused. She always says it's my fault for getting angry and making her feel threatened. I feel like that's just an excuse, and that she strikes me to punish me, knowing that I won't hit back. They told me that she and my daughter were going to spend the night someplace else. They had me fill out a report saying what I had told them. The paper and the police warned that it would be at the discretion of the prosecutor if he wanted to press charges or not, even though I said I didn't want to. I told them that I didn't want to fill out the form then, feeling even more like an idiot, but they said that they had already recorded everything and that this was just an opportunity to clarify my story. I wrote down everything, trying to stick as much to the facts as I could. They took pictures of me, especially my face and also my chest, asking me to lift my shirt. The officer told me he didn't see any bruising or even reddening. I told him that I don't bruise easily and have a very solid build, but I was still feeling the pain even then. He later said, "Oh wait, maybe I see it. Nope. I'm not sure if I was being mocked here or not. It's not that I can't take it. I probably could have stood there for a minute and just tanked, even without moving. But what does that mean? Should I have to, just because I can? Is it right that I have to put up with being abused just because I'm hardy? I still feel guilty about it though, like I should have had some physical evidence or something if I made such a big deal that I would call the police. Or maybe I shouldn't have called the police at all. I think that more and more. What is it going to accomplish? She won't admit that she was wrong. It will instead be my fault for calling the police and kicking your wife and daughter out of the house, and maybe sending me to jail. We might divorce, our new son or daughter might grow up in a broken family. I don't want that. They finally left, and I'm just kind of in shock. During the whole thing, I just went to that stoic, cold place that I do when I'm doing something unpleasant. I don't know if that made it even worse, if maybe that's why he thought I was hiding something. I'm not sure if my wife said something different to make them think that. The supervisor said they weren't going to run with it, which is good I think. I don't want my pregnant wife in jail, I just didn't know what else to do. So here I am, having installed Tor, made a throwaway, and now spilling my whole humiliating experience to the scrutiny of total strangers because I feel too embarrassed to tell my friends or family. God, that's ironic. Too proud to tell my shame to friends, so I tell the whole damn world instead. I don't want to tell my parents. It feels like I'm tattling or whining or something. Of course, I am whining, but I just feel like I have to. Any of my friends will look at me with pity, and I just don't want that from them. But you, oh internet, I don't have to worry about impressing. You'll never know me, and if you're reading this, at least somebody is listening. I just need to talk this out somehow. I feel terrible, like I just ruined everything. Should I have just taken it? Should I have tried harder for counseling after she cooled down? Whatever I should have done, this probably wasn't it. What good is it? Risking our daughter being taken away from us? Putting my wife in jail? He said it was a Class A misdemeanor because I said yes when he asked me if I felt pain and if I was offended. What kind of question is that? How offended would you feel if somebody punched you in the face? I hate this. I have to wake up in 6 hours to go to work, but I don't want to sleep. Should I even go to work? Maybe it will make an impression if I stay home waiting for her? Maybe I should clean the house? I already swept the glass. What do I do tomorrow? Should I text her? Call her? Meet her at work? Or is that too much like an ambush? How do you say, I mostly wish I didn't call the cops on you, but not really because I really don't like you punching me in the face? She'll never forgive me for this. I will hear about it every day for the rest of my life, if we even stay together. We were close to divorcing once already, I even filed and we separated for a few months. God, I don't want that for my daughter. I want her to have me with her always, not to have to see me on weekends or drive across town to me. I love my wife too. She's so great 99% of the time, but she just has no self-control when she gets angry. I don't know what to do. TLDR. Appa's a moron who called the police on his violent wife even though he didn't want anybody arrested and probably broke up his family doing so. If you're going to attack someone, expect to be retaliated against. Don't think that because you are a girl, a guy won't smack you back after you attack him. There are no double standards for girls regarding domestic abuse or assault. If you hit a guy, he has every right to defend himself against you and subdue you. So, I would just like to preface this whole thing with the fact that I'm not a fan of actually getting in fights. I'm never afraid to get into a fight or defend myself, but I would not say that I enjoy getting into fights. Also, for the purpose of the story it needs to be stated that I'm currently in South America and I, an American, don't know a lot of Spanish. Also, this is going to be long because I need to rant and also ask opinions. So, what follows is the story of me and a girl at a club getting into a fight. So, I met this girl on Tinder. We talked for a little while and then a few days ago I was out late and didn't want to go home, so I hit her up and asked if she wanted to go grab something to eat at like 2 a.m. in the morning. She said yes and we went and got food. Things went well, dropped her off, got some kisses, the end. We talk a little more over text while she went on a trip for the week. Then comes today. She got back from her trip today and I asked if she wanted to go out tonight to a club. Frankly, I had hoped I might be able to bring her back to my place and get lucky tonight. She told me her friend was in town and coming too. I was cool with that. If it doesn't work out with the first girl, maybe the second girl would be down. What could go wrong? Well, I pick them up tonight, take them to an ATM to get some cash, then head to the bar, club district. After half an hour trying to find somewhere to park, we do. We get out and head to a bar. I buy us all several shots and we start off well. Then we leave and head to a club that we all know that is a lot of fun. Get in and get a fishbowl of some mixed drink. We go up to this room and inside are two couples that are all over each other. They hear us speaking English and the two other girls start talking to us a little. After a while the other two couples join me and the two girls I came with, and we start talking. One girl started asking me about sex and threesomes and I answered pretty honestly, but also laughing the whole time. Well, after we finished our fishbowl, one went to dance with the two girls I came with. After a while I went back to talk to the two couples upstairs because the girls I was with just weren't feeling it. I'm talking and the girl I was initially talking to on Tinder came up and was giving me problems for talking to the girls of the other two couples. Skipping a bit, I was with the friend if the girl I had been talking to on Tinder and we were on a couch. I had my arm around her while we talked and drank. The Tinder girl comes and sits down with us. Meanwhile this other guy that speaks English came and sat with us and was giving Tinder girl shit for cock-blocking me and her friend. After a while she got mad and left. I went after her to try to calm her down and when I tried to talk to her she just pushed me away. Followed her outside to the taxi she got in and tried to talk to her again and calm her down. She was furious and insulted me, calling me an idiot, and pushed me again. I told her, I don't need this. Fuck you. Bye, and go back inside the club. I sit down with some other people and lo and behold Tinder girl comes back in to find me. She walks in the room and out of nowhere smacks me across the face, knocking my glasses off. I get up, grab my glasses and immediately smacked her back across the face, open-handed. I realize she's a girl, but I don't care who you are. If you hit me, I will hit you back. Big or small, guy or girl. Then I take my seat back thinking it's over. Nope. She picks up a glass and chucks it at me, striking me in the face again. So what do? I got up and smack her across the face hard enough to send her into the next room and onto the ground. Once again, open-handed. I didn't punch her. This is followed by about 4 security guards tackling me, picking me up, and carrying me down 3 flights of stairs and out of the club. Now, I wouldn't say I was out to hurt this girl after she attacked me out of nowhere, however I wasn't going to back down either. She hit me once and I retaliated by hitting her once back each time. I could have gone after her and really hurt her, but that was more than necessary at the time. After I hit her the first time, I sat back down, which is when she threw a glass at me and hit me in the side of the face. Then I got up and hit her again, and after seeing her fall into the next room, I was immediately tackled by the security guards and whisked out.